Bam.
Thought that was our
Yeah.
cue, and then it just went on a little bit longer.
What's that?
I thought that was our cue, and then it just went on just a little bit longer.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. It was just a little bit longer. What's up, guys? We are here bringing you guys episode number 44 of Frag Logic, joined by my good buddy Colin Skyless. I'm Arctic. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad.
Did I end up changing it from last week? No, I didn't. Let me change this topic. We're not
We're
talking about
still
Steam
talking about the
Machine.
Steam Machine for a week going now.
This is weekend gaming that we're going to start off with. But tonight, yeah, we have quite a few things we could talk about. We're still reeling off of the Xbox One launch. PlayStation 4 launch was 2 weeks ago. So we're going to talk a little bit about those some more. DreamHack. Talk about some of the esports stuff this weekend. Battlefield 4 issues. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One network issues. We'll be talking about, well, Xbox really isn't network issues more than feature related Xbox Live issues. Killer Instinct, really disturbing video popped up that Colin showed me right before the show. And we're going to talk about Titanfall, some speculation, open world Star Wars game, which was speculated as well. You know, we've been itching to talk some more about that. So, yeah, it should be a fun episode tonight. Let's go ahead and get started. Colin, what was the weekend like? What were you doing all this weekend?
I purchased Battlefield, so I've been playing Battlefield a bunch. It's $25, not too shabby.
You got that? Was it Black Friday deal?
Yeah, it was. Well, Origin had it half off, and then there was like a $10 coupon if you had a McDonald's proof of purchase or whatever. But everyone was just giving proof of purchase codes, so you could just pop in whatever the person typed, and then you could use the same one multiple times.
Okay.
So everyone was just doing the $10 discount. So
Hmm.
it would have been $20 for like the regular. I got the deluxe edition. It was 25. Not too bad. So I played that like probably like 25 hours this weekend. Something crazy. So I played that a bunch. Watched Counter Strike, DreamHack. Watched a little bit of Battlefield DreamHack, a little bit of Dota DreamHack. Didn't catch any StarCraft DreamHack. I think that was it.
Huh, pretty good.
Then toyed around with the Xbox One when I was over your place for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty interesting discussion that we had there. Which I hope I pasted that video in. I think I did at the top. Yeah, I did. Okay, so we can kind of talk about that. And the interesting thing about I think it was fisticuffs. Someone actually sent me this link for fisticuffs after we had talked about it, and this guy basically echoed some of the same things, although he did not articulate himself well at all. But some of the issues that I brought up in the past, and now Colin has now confirmed as well, that I have with the controller, basically with the analog sticks and the bumpers. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. But in terms of my weekend, obviously the holidays, Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday deals. I actually posted a video. We went out Wednesday night, Colin, and we bought that TV that you came in here and saw. 40-inch Samsung smart TV. It's 120 hertz. It is normally, as of right now, I just checked the link that I put in the description. It is $630, and we got it for we got it for 520 or something like that. So normally I think it was like 700. So it was like $150 off. This is a pretty good price. Games I played this weekend: Rise, Son of Rome. I beat that game. I streamed it on Sunday and Saturday. Um, I played what other games? I played Dead Rising 3 with tents, which is pretty fun game. It's probably the best game other than Killer Instinct, which I also played this weekend, that I played on the Xbox. I played Battlefield 4 for the Xbox. I played
You tried to play
Ghosts.
Battlefield 4 for
I,
Xbox.
I tried. I tried. And, I wasn't even having the issues that we're going to talk about, network stuff, but I just didn't like how it played on console versus playing on PC. I don't know. I'm just kind of getting used to the controls there. Um, and that's pretty much it. That was my weekend in terms of gaming stuff. I can't really say that I preferred one game over the other. I had a lot of fun this weekend, so it was just all, you know how you have that new gamer, like, oh, I'm just playing all these new games. Everything feels so good. And if I continue to play them, I'll start getting pissed about little things. Got the goggles on.
Or if
But
I'm over
yeah,
there to point out all the little things.
yeah, right.
Like watching you play Rise and watching the whole armies just standing around in the background watching you fight. Yeah. So you didn't watch any DreamHack then?
I watched Street Fighter for
Okay.
DreamHack. Daigo ended up winning. Daigo did some pretty sweet stuff. Like he really shocked a lot of people, and that's what the commentators they were talking about. Like he played ridiculously to win that event. Just did some stuff that people just hadn't really seen from him before. So I'm hoping this is the new Daigo that we kind of see going forward, where he's just like pulling stuff out that no one has ever seen before, and it's like, what? So I'm kind of hoping, because you know Ultra comes out, I want to say in January, so they're going to be playing new Street Fighter game kind of come
Might hurt him,
January.
though.
What?
That might hurt him though.
It could potentially hurt
He's
him.
just hitting a stride and then they change it up again.
Could maybe. Um, so yeah, that'll be interesting. That's really all I watched. I watched Fnatic versus Complexity, and they just
On Counter Strike.
demolished. Yeah, for Counter Strike, they demolished Complexity. Um,
Complexity actually had a really good showing. They got third.
the day before.
And many, yeah, it was the day before their final run in group stage, but they actually got third, which was really surprising for most of the community. Like everyone was like, "Oh, they just won that match because it was a fluke," and then like they won the next one. It's like, "Oh, they just won that because it was a fluke," and then they won the third one. It's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
They're actually pretty good.
they
But in the
got.
end, it was Fnatic versus NIP, and Fnatic, the young guns, came out on top.
Now, what was the how was the pricing distribution for that tournament for Counter Strike?
So they did a thing similar once again to the compendium sales for Dota. I think in the end, let's see what they came out. I believe it was 150 grand is what the final was. Winter
Up
2013.
a praise, Father Russia. I will never play competitive racing unless it's Mario Kart. Totally down for some Mario Kart.
$250,000 was the
Two
prize
hundred
pool.
fifty.
And that was community funded through sales of the esports crate in the game. And then the stream actually got 145,000 viewers, is what it peaked out at. But perhaps more importantly, they were pretty consistently around like 90,000 for the course of the event. Plus another like 20,000 watching through Dota TV since they added the streaming thing or the spectator tools in game.
Right.
It's not quite as full fledged as Dota's is, but it's still pretty good. They don't have the announcers yet in the in-game client. But also they did drops for spectators the entire time, and where Dota will drop like 3 or 4 items for like double kills or stuff, they were just throwing guns away for the Counter Strike one. They were doing like over the course of the match that I watched, they dropped like 10,000 weapons or something like that. So I got 2 drops from the finals, and then I happily opened it up, and it's pretty cool actually. If you go in game, so they're called the souvenir, so it'd be like souvenir M4A4 Black Cobra or whatever, you know.
Right.
If you go in game, on the skin there's a sticker on the side that actually has the DreamHack logo. So the weapon actually has the branding, and then of course
Right.
it says like dropped during the finals between NIP and Fnatic.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Huh.
So I was pretty excited about that. And I got one that looked pretty cool, so I was happy with it. But I think a lot of people were watching for the skins. But I saw a lot of comments on the different websites like, yeah, I signed in just to watch so I can get my skins and maybe get a couple drops. But in the end, I stayed because the matches were fucking awesome, you know?
Right.
Which
Yep.
I think is obviously what they're going for with the tournaments and the streams. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely a revitalization for them. That was the biggest tournament in Counter-Strike history in terms of prize pool.
Wow. In the history, I didn't know it was. I guess thinking about it, yeah, there hasn't been really
Think
anything
about
else
like
that topped
all the
it.
tournaments back in the day. Like if you had
$50,000,
$50,000,
yeah.
then that was like, oh shit,
Right.
$50,000 at CPL, it's on.
Damn.
But yeah, so now the prizes just keep going up. $250,000.
You know what's
And that
interesting?
crate's still for sale too, so like they're gonna keep funding tournaments with it.
The Valve is kind of, this is a shooter and now a MOBA on lock.
Yep.
The viewership, shooter and a MOBA.
Wait for that Valve fighting game.
I know. That's it, right? That's all they need. Colin. That's it. It's a done deal.
Or an RTS.
Now I think MOBA and RTS is too much like crossover.
Too similar.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though. At one point, if you went on Twitch, it was like 95,000 watching Counter Strike, 90,000 watching Dota, 85,000 watching League, and like 85,000 watching StarCraft. So like
And
all
there was
four of
like
them. Boom, boom, boom.
50,000, I think, watching Street Fighter.
Yeah, I don't know what it capped out at.
I can't remember. I don't
Obviously,
know what
like the finals were kind
height
of
of it was.
staggered. Like this is just one particular snapshot.
Right.
I know Battlefield has some pretty good viewer counts as well. I think it was like around 15, 20. So pretty damn cool seeing all those different games just blowing it up over the course of the weekend.
So
DreamHack in itself is just such a cool event to me.
yeah, we're talking about trying to go next year. Just a couple guys from the studio trying to go. We'll see how that pans out. That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah.
Really want to go. But in terms of the results for the tournaments, Daigo got first. Gamer B got second for Street Fighter 4. Dota 2's Navi was first. Second was
Fnatic.
Counter Strike, Fnatic was first. NIP was second.
And in Battlefield, Fnatic got first.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
So
let's
Fnatic
put an asterisk. Let's put an asterisk next to Battlefield.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
We'll just transition right into it. Let's go ahead and transition right into it.
So I tuned into the Battlefield tournament because I was kind of interested. Obviously, I picked up the game. I played it a ton over the weekend, and I was starting to learn the maps and everything. So I was like, all right, let's see how domination plays out in Battlefield. And aside for that, like it played out okay. It was basically what you'd expect. It's hard to follow. It's how domination's always been. Like even watching Call of Duty domination, it's hard to follow from a strategic aspect a lot of times. And Battlefield's spawn system doesn't help that because you'll spawn all over the place in a few different scenarios.
Over the place.
Yeah, it's like there's not really a clear front to be able to watch. So I mean, it was entertaining, I guess. It wasn't super entertaining for me. But the bigger issue is that they kept having disconnects and crashes throughout the entire event. I watched 2 or 3 matches, and it was like guy would drop, 3 or 4 minutes later, someone else would drop, and there's no pause or freeze or anything like that. So literally, a person would disconnect, and I have to give props to Golden Boy for trying to keep his composure and professionalism. But it was like Golden Boy's like, "Oh, they're down a man. Hopefully he gets back soon." And like 3 minutes later, someone else on the other team would disconnect. Like, "Oh, it's evened up now." Like they even had a power play. He didn't actually say that, but it was like basically that was what he was suggesting. It was like, yeah, not really. You and I both know that if you disconnect at certain scenarios and times, then you're just screwed. Like that's the tournament, right?
So this is a release
almost every match that I saw had crashes, which in a competitive environment is completely unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Completely
unacceptable.
100% unacceptable. Now this goes back to what we were talking about during the beta. This is back in October, and we told everyone, we said, hey, listen, this is not a demo, or this is not a beta. This is a demo for what we're actually going to get in game. There were server issues there. There were crashes. There was frame rate problems. Game comes out. We are a month into the release of Battlefield 4. Just saw a tournament where players were crashing mid-game. That is completely unacceptable. DICE released a patch today, claiming that it was fixed.
Well,
hopped on today.
No, they claimed a few things were
fixed. They
fixed.
claimed a few fixes. Most of them were related to all the problems that people had over the weekend, which were crashes, servers dropping, etc., etc.
I think they just have so many crashes that there's no way they can.
It is.
But it's been a while. It's been what, like 2 months since release?
It's been a month.
Right? It's been a month.
2 months since the beta, a month since release, and we are still in the situation that we were in when Battlefield 3 came out. Battlefield 3 came out, and the game wasn't a game playable until 6 weeks, like January was when the game was able to be playable. the thing that's so frustrating to me is I really want to love Battlefield 4. Like, it is
Yeah.
so close to being such a great, great game, and yet the same fucking issues that happen on Battlefield 3 are persistent in this game. And it is so frustrating to want to enjoy this game. But, and I was talking with a guy at work. Here's a guy at work. He said he had a game on Operation Locker. I cannot tell you how many times this has happened to me now. He had a game on Operation Locker. He's 5 minutes into the game. So he said he had about another 5 minutes left, or based on tickets. He had 40 something kills, and he said he had single digit deaths. The server crashed. Do you know how many times that has happened to me where I have a monster game, and the server crashes? Like, it is not like a once every 20 games. Like, I go in, I went last night, for example, I tried to play 3 matches in a row on 3 different servers. I played 5 minutes maybe on each one, maybe, before crashing out. It's
That was
like,
my experience.
I don't know what else to do. Like, I really want to promote this game. I want to be playing it a lot, but it's like, I was so frustrated. It was like, well, I got Xbox One. I'm not going to play Battlefield there. Let me just hop on some Killer Instinct, or let me play some other games. I mean, that's how I feel, but I really want to like this game.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do right now. And if they continue to do this every Battlefield release, I promise you, I will not get the next Battlefield if this is not fixed. I promise you. I didn't get Battlefield 3. Colin, are you gonna say that? Are you gonna say what you're thinking what I'm thinking you're saying? No, it is
I
not
really
the
wish
same.
I had soundbited the fact that you're like, I am not doing
I am
anything with
not doing it.
Xbox One if this one breaks.
So here's the thing. I didn't buy. Remember where I initially talked about buying Battlefield on the Xbox One and buying it on PC? And initially, like, doing the same thing I'm doing for Titanfall. I didn't do that this time. I got the PC version, vetted it out a little bit, and I got Xbox version, but I have it for free. I've been playing it on and off, and I can't play it because I'm too used to the PC version at this. No, no way. Colin, I'm not doing it again. Battlefield 5. If they have a beta, I'll play the beta. I'm not sinking money into it if they can't fix these issues, because it's going to be the same exact thing. They have shown consistency in their ability to fail at launches.
The good thing is that they support their game for a year or two after launch with
True.
content and patches. So like 6 or 7 months from now, the game will probably be in a really, really good state and be really fun. But right
It's
now, it's pretty frustrating.
it is so
There's
close.
also just
Now,
lots of little things. Like the comment which I saw in a lobby was that Battlefield is the worst great game ever. Was what the person said, and I think that actually like completely mirrors my sentiments. Is that it's like it's so close, but then there's so many just like little things on top of the crashes, which are just so frustrating. The one which I pointed out earlier was that like domination, the game will start as soon as like one person loads in, so everyone else is still loading, and that person's already like double capped if they have an SSD. So like 2 or 3 hit caps, and then you sign in and you're getting spawn camped. And then yeah, it's just like there's tons of little stuff like that, which just drives me insane. On top of the crashes and stability, but it's a fun
this,
game. Like the
I
gunplay
know,
is great.
right? So I mean, I'd say any other game, like I force myself to play, or at least try to play through several different issues. Like, you're playing a server and you're having a great time, and then the server crashes. Everyone, or you get booted out. Everyone from that server gets booted out. You find the same one. There's half the people in there. Like, oh, I don't want to join that. You lost all your stats, and it's like, I'm still playing. Like, I still try to find another server after that happens. Like, that is unacceptable. It is
Yeah.
unacceptable, but it speaks volumes to what potential that game has. Like, I want to play it, but Dice is just dropping the ball. Like, I
And with the emphasis on squads, like it sucks 'cause I'll find a squad, I'll be like, hey, these guys kind of take stuff. Like they play similar to me, they're all really good players. Like I'm squatted up with them, we're having fun, and then one of us crashes, and then everything just starts to crumble. And
yep.
then like you just lost the cool group of people you're playing with.
So I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Polygon redid their review, started off at a 7.5, which I thought was low. Then they did one revision, lowered it, and then they did another revision today or
For Xbox
yesterday
and PlayStation.
for
Yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation, where they lowered it from a 7.5 to a 4.
I've
based
seen
on the multiplayer issues.
on Xbox there's issues just getting connected to servers. It's
And
like
they,
it'll say there's like 10 slots and you select it and it says the game
is
is
it,
full, I guess, for
right?
Conquest.
Yep. But they worded it something like they would not recommend this game to anyone based on the issues that it has with multiplayer. I 100% agree right now. Until they hash out the issues with it, I wouldn't recommend anybody purchase Battlefield 4 because it's unplayable.
That's it. It's $125.
25
You can get it for
bucks.
$25, then
I could tell you a lot of different games that you could play for 25 bucks. That would be a good bang for your buck. But Battlefield 4 right now is not a good bang for your buck. You can play Commander mode on the iPad.
on your tablet,
That's
calling
free.
EMP strikes.
That's free. Yeah, there you go. That's what I recommend, guys. Commander mode on your iPad. Hop on in. Have fun.
I'd say if you're a patient person, $25 is a good price currently. But you have to have that caveat because
Colin,
if you're someone who gets frustrated real bad, then you're gonna be raging.
is there any reason they wouldn't be working their butt off to fix it? I think they are working their butt off to fix it, Calm
Sure they
Sticks.
are.
The issue is not their work ethic towards fixing it. It is their ability to fix it. They just
It's tracking
haven't.
stuff down and yeah.
I mean, there's just so many issues with the launch. They fixed one set of issues, and then they still have, I don't know, 100 or so more issues. It seems
That's
like.
the bigger thing. Is like the reason that games take so long to ship and go through the like final testing phase is because once it's live, patching is 10 times harder.
Yeah.
Like it's way harder to patch a game that's live than to do something in development. So I
So,
mean, like once it's live, it's every fix is super precarious because you can break tons of other stuff.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know when we're gonna see the actual working version of this game in all of its glory.
I say like 6 months,
6 months.
which is like 2 DLCs away.
So yeah, we just got China Rising, which I haven't played yet.
Yeah, I haven't played it either. Actually, I didn't purchase the premium.
Then there's something else, which will probably be 3 months from now. That would make the game 4 months old, so it would be right after that. So you're looking at March, April of when this game will be pretty good or in a
Yeah,
playable state.
I think that mirrors like what Battlefield 3 was. It took a good 6 or 7 months.
That sounds about right because that's when we started playing again, and we were like, "Oh my god, this game is so awesome!"
Yeah,
I
because they
wish it
fixed
was
a bunch
like
of
this when
stuff.
the game
It
released.
wasn't just stability. Like they did stability patch, then they did a big balance patch, and that was right when we came back. Was when they patched a bunch of the issues like suppression. Remember, suppression was stupid,
Stupid, yeah. Oh my god.
as well as the flashlight. So like they nerfed both those
So,
and
I
some weapon balance stuff because like two weapons were way overpowered over everything else. So
the thing is, by the time that this game is playable, we will all be off of this game.
yeah, I'm gonna be on Titanfall in
We're
March.
gonna be on Titanfall by the time if based off of what you just said is any indication on when this will probably be playable. That game could be a ghost town. Like, think about that. I think that Titanfall, and I don't want to talk about it right now. I mean, we've already kind of transitioned. Might as well. But I think Titanfall is going to cut a nice slice out of both Call of Duty and Battlefield. So I I don't know what to say about it. Like I said, I really want them to improve it, but it's just frustrating at this point.
You
So
can transition right into
let's go into Titanfall. I mean, we don't have a lot here. This is
well, I mean,
all
really, I just want to talk about it's a bit of both.
VGX.
So yeah, it's VGX, which
I'm gonna put it
I don't want to
subpar.
talk about much because so VGX is the new name for the Spike VGAs, Video Game Awards, which I'm sure everyone's seen at some point. Uh, Now they're saying that they're doing away with the big Hollywood production, which VGX or VGA started to be, and focusing on exclusive trailer. That was the initial first couple seasons were more about the game announcements, but then it just started to turn into a celebrity thing. So, anyways, there's been new content from. Read the
Thank you, Time
list.
Warner. Fuck you.
Did we die?
We did for a second.
TWC.
Thank you, Time Warner. Appreciate it. Love you. Fuck you.
Did you guys get my VGX explanation? I'm sure you did.
It's back up, bro. Right? We're back live.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Okay. Oh, okay. Fuck you, Time Warner.
Anyways, does Time Warner own Spike?
EA?
I bet they do.
Does Time Warner own Spike? Maybe.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta look it up.
They don't. They don't.
It's Viacom.
Alright, so go ahead.
Anyways. Sorry. So the VGX is the new VGAs, emphasis on game trailers and announcements. They said there'd be new content, I assume it'd be like trailers, for Quantum Break, South Park Stick of Truth, and what's their names are actually going to be there? Trey Parker and Matt Stone
Okay.
for an announcement. Broken Age, Dying Light, The Division, new Division content.
What? Yes!
New Division content?
Yes!
They've only
Guys!
shown like 2 videos, right? Like they showed their like app experience, and then they showed the initial announcement at E3.
The initial announcement and the app one is called the companion trailer.
Companion trailer.
Guys, I have been so, like, every single bit of Division information I could possibly consume, I have been looking for. And
that's it.
This
Just
is...
those 2.
Yeah,
and
that's
lots
it.
of rehashed like explanations of the companion trailer.
So there was 3 games we were really hyped for coming out of E3. Destiny,
Division, and Titanfall.
yeah, Division and Titanfall. Division is the one, oh my god. I want to play that game so bad.
And then the last 2 were Witcher 3, and they're going to be announcing a Wii U title, which is currently unannounced. And then the big one for me is that they're going to be showing off some Titanfall stuff as well. With the note, they're kind of teasing that it was going to be something bigger than just a trailer. But they did say it was going to be some new stuff to show off, as well as a surprise, is what they said.
So speculation on the surprise.
I'd be careful, because the last time that they said they had something big to announce,
we both said
we
it's
both
gonna
said,
be a beta,
well,
and then we're like, it's a collector's edition for $250.
It wasn't just us. It wasn't just us though. It was pretty much everyone, right?
It's a beta.
Yeah.
That wasn't what happened. Give me some money.
All the sites were like, man, they have a big announcement, and they built it up too, you know.
They blew their wad though. Like, big announcement, guys. It's gonna be a big announcement. $250 collector's edition. Woo! So now they're like, it's a big announcement, guys. We promise it's not a trailer.
But this time,
if we bite on that though, Colin.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna bite and just say I hope that it's a beta announcement. Because it would expedite my purchase of an Xbox One.
I think they're going to announce a new.
Probably.
They're going to show off a new game mode.
They've shown a new map each time.
New game mode, guys.
All the maps are inherently game modes, essentially.
I think it's attrition.
No, they showed attrition, and then there was extraction.
So we need capture the flag. What is that going to be called?
Retrieval.
Retrieval. Oh, I like that. I like that.
It fits
attrition,
in, right?
Extraction.
Retrieval, extraction.
Retrieval. Sounds right.
But this time, there's a little bit of evidence that supports me. There was an article from Edge recently about the Xbox One dashboard, where they basically said that a Titanfall beta will come. It says, Respawn Shooter, still the most impressive next-gen title, arrives in March, largely unchallenged by Sony. It's also multiplayer only and will be preceded by a beta period. So that was from Edge, and I don't know if they would even know that, you know. But their article is pretty damn clear about it, and I don't know where they would have gotten that elsewise, you know.
Somebody must have slipped up.
Maybe. And Edge is pretty legit.
Wouldn't
say like super legit, but they're pretty legit.
I mean, the game comes out in March, so hopefully they don't pull a dice and say it's a beta in February.
I can see that.
I can totally see that.
Some people are saying they'll be bundled with an Xbox One.
I wouldn't buy that. See, why did they do that? Like, I would totally get a Titanfall branded Xbox if it was
shaped like a mech.
Where would the disc go? Wait, maybe the mech would just insert the disc. It would like take your disc and go.
No, it ejects it up into the air. It ejects it in the air like the pilots.
Oh man. be great.
Yeah, I can actually see that. I can see it being a console announcement, which would be the kind of lame thing that we got last time.
Xbox One is bigger than a real life mech. Basically,
In this
VCR.
case, I wouldn't even care if it was a demo. Realistically, I wouldn't care.
You just want to play it.
I just want to play
I'm in the same boat.
as
I
early as
pretty much just
possible
want to play it.
because I have nothing going on until then, really.
Neither of us do. See. Where did I want to go?
See, we've
Let's.
gone all over the place.
Well, no, it was those were
Speaking
smooth
of betas,
transitions.
Project Spark beta kicked off today. They sent out invites. I did not get one.
Neither did I, and I signed up for one.
Like last week.
No, it's been like a month now. There's the beta. If you guys want to sign up for it, Colin and I have really been
If you have
talking up
Windows
this game.
8.1.
If you have Windows
Only on
8.1, Windows 8.1. For other people on YouTube, your beta. I might even put it in the description this time, and I don't include links. If you're not in live, then you're missing out on the links. But basically, yeah, Elite knows I want to do that mocapping on. That's all I've been talking about with Project Spark, right? I can't wait to mocap. I'm gonna be doing that nonstop. I'm gonna make a better Fighter Within than Fighter Within. Colin, I'm gonna make Fighter Within using Project Spark and mocap.
All right, I've got a game idea that I'm gonna build out, and I'll contract you for all the mocap work.
Yes.
When it comes time to add animations.
Okay, I'm not very limber, so despite me saying I'm going to make a Fighter Within,
my range of motion is pretty much
half
here
kicks.
down to here.
It'd be like half kicks, straight leg kicks. Got me there.
It's alright though. I just need to like charge up fireball attacks and shit.
Okay.
You'll be good to go. Maybe some archery.
I think I can handle that too.
All right.
Should be good.
Cool thing is there's no NDA, so content will be flying out from that beta.
Yeah. This is something that I really has a lot of potential to disrupt that Minecraft community, which is so prominent on YouTube. I'm really excited for this game.
It really could be the killer app for Xbox One. I think I can say that pretty definitively. It could be the killer app for the Xbox One, if it's as successful as they're hoping it is.
And yet, despite all of that success, no one is picking up on it yet. Still.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things I think it's a show me type thing, right?
Right. You have to see how
what
awesome
sold
it
a lot of
is.
people on Minecraft was seeing the crazy shit people were making. You know?
Right.
Like, what sold people on Little Big Planet was seeing some of the crazy shit people were making. So I think, as far as creation games go, that's always going to be one of the things that's going to be show me. And the fact it's free to play definitely benefits from the show me mentality.
Right.
So we'll see. I think it has. If it doesn't do well, I'll be very surprised. But it might take a while to get rolling.
All right. So let me find this network stuff. All right. Change this first. Current topic. I'm gonna get into. I'll just title it next gen. Next gen.
Woes.
Woes, but it's like online woes.
Sure.
That's how So first off, you know, I provided my kind of thoughts on the Xbox One. Did a full-on review. We talked about the launch titles. That's all in episode 43 if you guys missed it. This week, after spending more than a week with the system and getting to know the nuances of the Xbox One, there's a number of issues that I have with the OS, and it was slammed pretty hard over the course of the last few days on what people are kind of how they're reacting to the dashboard. And you remember in last week I talked about it being kind of a mess if you're with the controller. So like naturally, and I think I did a demonstration, you want to use the voice commands with the Connect to navigate. And I don't think people really know what to do there. Like, there's a tutorial which I actually watched, which is okay, but I don't think people are actually looking at that like, how do I use the Connect? because I legitimately want to learn how to use this thing, and so I think 99.9% of the people there are probably not doing that. And so if you try to navigate with the controller, the OS feels terrible, just terrible. So that's one of the criticisms that was
But
made.
even the voice, like I was over at your place trying to navigate with the voice, and it
And
was not
it,
picking up. Like even when I was saying the correct thing, it wasn't picking it up. Maybe like a third of the time.
and it
It
was
was
doing some
bad.
redundant stuff. Like every time, like you would be talking, and then you would have to say Xbox, then it would register, and then you would say a command, and then you would still see the stop listening, and it wouldn't pick up on what you were saying. And then it would go back to not showing up. Then you'd have to say Xbox again, because you were kind of new to it, so you weren't seeing that icon go away, and so you would be like
Yeah.
Xbox, Switch,
The big thing for me was whenever I was in an
Switch,
app, like I was in Twitch, and I still had preface my things with Xbox,
Xbox.
Twitch, or you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
I was gonna be able to say Twitch, play, Twitch channel 1, Twitch channel 2. You know, like that's yeah, it wasn't very intuitive. And the bigger issue is that when it was intuitive, I was getting false information by telling me that I did it wrong. You know what I mean?
my Xbox is racist. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the the deep south drawl I don't have apparently.
Oh man,
So yeah, like it was a struggle. The struggle was real,
it
trying to
was.
navigate your Xbox.
It was really painful watching you because it was your first time. So I can only imagine how awful, like someone that's just not
That's the thing, like it was my first time, but I'm pretty tech savvy, and
right.
I
So
seen
he
the
was
features
picking up on
used.
some of it, but like,
Like
can
I'd
you
seen the features
imagine?
used before, so I kind of knew roughly how it should go.
Right.
Uh, but again, like the feedback isn't there at all. There's no feedback at all as to what you're doing wrong.
Yeah. So I can only imagine like how the average consumer, because I if you're watching this show, and I mentioned this like if you're watching this show, we're on the show. You're into if you even know remotely about most features in games, like you are above
You're an
casual.
expert.
You're
Yeah.
an expert at this point. Like you're a hardcore gamer. So the fact that they probably aren't getting most of those players, and there's not a very, I mean, there's a good explanation, but I don't think they know how to navigate to it and watch it. People are probably just all over the place with that. On top of some of the features that are built in with the Kinect that are shit. You know, we talked about the fighter within. There's other features that you can do, like
That's the feature built
leaning
in.
around. Yeah, fighter within's feature is that it's just shitty. But yeah, like leaning around corners or leaning to do the turns on Crimson Dragon or whatever. Like all of that is just poor implementation of what they were already doing last gen with the Kinect, and they just kind of didn't have. I don't think they really had time to develop what they want to do with this gen. Um, so I think Kinect interface could be better, but
It's
the
funny you said
the
the controller interface is bad because I was laughing. Major Nelson tweeted this week because there was they have a few games that have demos, right?
yeah
But you wouldn't know it like if you were digging through the menus because there actually isn't a demos tab anymore, from what I understand. So he had a tweet. It says, "There's already a demo for Zoo Tycoon on Xbox One. To find it, say Xbox Bing, then show me game demos."
what?
So essentially, he's telling people to fucking Google it. You know, like that's basically what that's pointing towards, right? Like, yeah, if you want to download a demo, just fucking Google it. But in this case, Bing it.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Does he realize how unintuitive that is?
Oh, it's horrendously unintuitive.
Wow.
Where
Okay.
before you would just link and I would click the button and it would queue over to my Xbox. You know what I mean? Like that was all the process was.
So
Then I'd hop on my Xbox and my download would be going.
here's my
So
rant.
Xbox 360 was more
Yeah,
suited in
it's
that
much
regard.
better. Much better. So here's my rant right now. I am level. All right. I can feel myself. I'm starting to sweat a little bit because I'm thinking about it, I'm getting pissed. But whew. All right. So I was playing Dead Rising 3 with tents. I mentioned that in the beginning of the show. There's cooperative modes on that um, game and on Rise Son of Rome, so it applies there too. When we tried to play together, it was literally 20 minutes of us trying to figure out how to start the fucking game and join in the same game to play cooperatively. There was no invite friend. There was no hit the dashboard, select this guy, Tense, go to his friends list, which, mind you, this is like Xbox, friends, pull up your friends. You have to scroll through each friend. Person, whatever, select them. This is all in the dashboard. You're not in game. You select them. There is no invite to game. It is invite to party chat. So you invite to party chat. You go back to the game. You're like, how do I play? You go online. You go to their online service. You go to a match. So they have story mode. They have some speed runs. And the only option they give you is to fucking join matchmaking. Despite being in a party. The only option they give you is to join matchmaking. You could not start a party, take that party into an online match. All right, so me trying to figure out how to do this, I said, well, Mitch, I think I need to go into the single player portion, because every time I went in online, it threw me into matchmaking. I was like, I think I need to go into the single player portion, select one of the options that wasn't single player. So you have to go single player. You're in single player. Listen to me, guys. You're in single player on Dead Rising 2. You hit single player. It takes you to another list. At the very top, it shows 4 different playlists. Then at the bottom, it says single player. So I was like, I thought I was already in single player in the first place. So you go single player, then you choose one of the 4 non-single player playlists. Then once you're in the game, it starts the normal game. So it's like completionist, speed run, something else, something else. I chose completionist. I still cannot invite Tense to the game. I had to play through. He had to look this up. He had to look up how to fucking invite him to the fucking game. All right? So we get into the game. I had to get 20 minutes into the game itself, playing through the game, before I got to a checkpoint, which then allowed me to invite party members to the game I was playing. Is this their fucking first time doing this, Colin?
Ten says, Xbox, Bing, how do I play with a friend?
Is this their first time doing this? Has Xbox Live not been out since fucking 2002?
Man, that's
how
crazy.
The fuck could they regress that fucking far back on how to play with a friend?
I'm curious how much of that's the game implementation versus the service abilities.
I was literally hot. Like, dude, we're just trying to play together. We cannot play together. Like, it was so messed up. And then when we went to Rise, all right, people that were watching us play Rise, it was me and Brutality, all right, and me and Tense. So Tense had it on his stream, and then I had it with Brutality. So we start a matchmaking thing. This does it smart, so it grabs it without you even trying to do it. So sometimes it prompts you when you choose a playlist to invite a friend. That's the very first thing it does. Kudos to Crytek. Thank you very much, guys. You guys made it easy for me versus fucking Dead Rising 3. All right? Still, the party system is all fucked up. Now, if you join as a party in that game, it throws you into matchmaking. The first thing you see is that you're in the screen matchmaking, and it doesn't show you anything for the person that's joining, right? So then it auto joins after like 5 seconds or so. So you're sitting there looking like, well, what I did a couple times was I don't see anyone. I immediately hit dash to invite her to the party. She was already in my party, so I'm like, well, how do I invite you? I go back to the game and I saw that she was in the lobby. And I was like, oh, that's weird. It must have auto matchmade her with me because we were in the same party. She left the game because she saw the same thing I did. So she's sitting there. It grabs her from whatever she's doing, throws her into the game. She didn't realize that she was throwing her in with me. She backs out, and I'm like, this is like 5 seconds and maybe 20 seconds go by. I'm like, well, Britt, I think you were actually in that game. I'm going to join matchmaking again, and I'm going to see if it auto prompts you in there. All right, so this is like 5 minutes of us trying to figure this out. I join again. It automatically joins her in. She's like, I don't see you. Well, I was like, I see you in game. She's like, I don't see you yet. I was like, what? So I'm like, I hit ready because she was in there. I said, well, just wait. She's like, I still don't see you. She backs out again. She comes back in. We do this process again. Then she sees me, and then she's like, okay, well, let's ready up. So I ready up, and then she said, well, I don't see you ready now. I'm like, what? I said, I'm ready. Just wait. Don't leave the room. So about 15 seconds or so later, it shows me ready. Then it puts us into the match. Colin, what is this? Does any of that make? How the fuck are we gonna play together on Titanfall if it's like this? And Major
Sure.
Nelson's reply to this was, It's gonna be better, guys. Things will get better. We are aware of the issues. Things will get better." He said that on Reddit.
It's just weird. Like to me, that sounds like it has to be game implementation issues, which makes me wonder, like, because Xbox 360 basically just offered what Halo 2 did, right? Like that was what their services were all built around, was the Halo 2 matchmaking.
Oh, but
So it's kind of weird that they wouldn't have.
it's auto matchmaking your party. And here's another
Yeah,
thing,
but
Colin. Listen.
I mean,
All
really,
right,
if they showed your party as a lobby mirrored in the game, then it
on
wouldn't
this didn't happen to me,
be as much of
but
an issue.
there's a screenshot. I'm sorry I didn't grab this screenshot for the chat. I looked on a site, and I'm just trying not to be mad about it. All right, so I looked on a site. If you're in a current party and you join Rise, want someone to play with you from the party, it makes you leave the party that you're in, so you can't talk to the people that you're talking to. Remake a party so that you can join with that one person that's trying to play. You understand what I'm saying?
So you can't have people playing together. Like I can't have like if there's four of us in party, two of us can't be playing one game and two of us playing another game.
Exactly.
We can all play the same game.
But we cannot play separate games in the same party. But you could do that on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Does that fucking make sense?
I wonder if the only thing I could think, and it's something which I kind of somewhat wish they would do, is maybe they're trying to force you to use the game chat.
Or Skype. So there's Skype chat, there's game chat, and there's party chat.
Wait, party chat's separate from Skype?
Yes.
I thought it was all the same.
No.
I thought that was the whole point of the Skype integration, was that that was going to take over party chat.
No.
Well, then I just
If I
got
set up a
lost.
party chat, it snaps to your party, and it shows the party party app, and you're in a party. If I go to Skype, it pulls from my Skype account on my existing list, and I can Skype anyone anywhere. So I've hopped on Skype on my Kinect or on my Xbox, and Skype Tense, who is on his phone on Skype, and he's talking to me while we're playing, or while I'm playing and
So
he's on there.
you can have like your mic source going through party chat and Skype at the same time, or do you have to
I
select
don't
one?
know. I don't know what happens. I think it just blows up. I have no idea what happens. What
I just
happens if
picture
you're
like I just picture plugging in an extension cord into itself.
This is one where I'm just like, what the fuck,
That's
Microsoft?
confusing me. The way that I had taken it was that Skype was just going to replace party chat.
That's
Like
how
that
they
was
made it
my
sound.
that was how I understood it. And then I assumed that if I were to like just join a game, it would just take my party that were in the game with me together.
How
That
could
was
they
my
have
understanding. Like if there
fallen?
was my expectation was if there was like six of us, right, and four of us were in the game, then when I sign into that game, that would be our lobby, you know, like us four together as a party, just like Xbox would.
But it doesn't do
Like
that.
I wouldn't necessarily have to invite them like I would on Xbox. They would just be part of my group, is what I thought.
But from based
That
on
makes
Dead
sense.
Rising, listen. All right, so I really need to explain this. So on Dead Rising, when I was in a party, I could not invite, like on the existing Xbox Live 360. You're in a party, it says invite party to game. That function disappeared. It is nowhere to be found. If I go into Dead Rising and I'm in a party, existing party, I was trying to use the Xbox 360 version to invite it. So I was kept hitting like dash. I go to the party. I can't invite you to party. It's like it gives options for the party, which is like mute the party, end the party, start the party chat. Nothing about the game I was playing. I go to the game. I had to hit pause in the game menu, and then in the game menu it said something like invite party to game. 20 minutes into the game with the existing party I was in.
That's really weird. I know, it's all weird to me.
they have fallen so far. It seems like the only thing that people were asking for was for the clarity and the fidelity of the audio to be improved.
Yeah,
That
which
is
is what Skype
it.
was supposed to bring.
That is it. What is all this other bullshit? Like they've just thrown bullshit at us.
That's really weird.
Unnecessary.
Again,
I,
I thought the party chat was gone and it was replaced by Skype.
no, Colin, baffled right now. I am baffled. The other
It
issues that
seems weird
people
that
have.
Microsoft would pass up the opportunity to just get everyone on Skype. You know what
The
I
other,
mean?
yeah,
Like, why wouldn't they?
the other issue, they don't show the total storage that's used up on your system. So you have no idea. I have no idea right now how much storage I have. They don't show the battery life of the controller. I have no idea when my battery is going to die. Then the party chat's fucked up. Then the OS is all screwed.
But that snapping's pretty cool.
But snapping is fucking awesome.
It really is. I was watching DreamHack while KL played Rise. Next level.
It was sweet. I mean,
Although there was no volume control.
I don't
Small
understand.
things.
The one major strength they had was party chat. Like that was huge. It was
It was also
huge.
something that PlayStation never had.
And they just it doesn't work very well now. Like it regressed so far from where it is with the way it's built into these games. I just don't get it. I don't even know. I don't know what Ghost looks like. I don't even want to. I don't even want to play Ghost, but I need to sit down on Ghost to see if it's as bad. Like, how do you invite? I don't even know what it's gonna look like
Oh, we
from
had a
the
traditional lobby when you
menu.
and I played.
From the
Although it
menu,
took us a bunch of mashing buttons, then all of a sudden I magically appeared in the thing. You remember that?
yeah.
Like I hit buttons and like 10 seconds went by, then I was in there with you. So maybe it's the same thing, but it's through a lobby.
I don't know, man. I didn't get too bad on that rant, guys, but I'm just thinking about it makes me very upset. Like, it's so regressed. Like, I feel like it's their first time doing Xbox Live and party chat. Like, they have not been doing this for 10 years.
Just gotta wait for that patch. That's a hard one to patch because that's like changing how their systems were designed so that they aren't stupid and doesn't affect games that are already out. Like that's gonna be tricky.
Ugh.
That's gonna be really
I'm part
tricky.
of the next gen beta team. It feels like it.
Yeah, you already tested the hardware. Now you're testing the software.
All right. Last thing I want to show you guys is the network latency. This is Killer Instinct what the fuck moment I was talking about where I I
It's kind
don't
of strange.
it's better that you guys watch it than me trying to talk about it.
So it's
But
strange for me because like I have a general understanding of how the netcode works in that case, but it still seems like they're doing it wrong to me. So if you watch the video that Kale linked and doesn't actually let you click, do it this way. Let's do it that. Bam. And if you're a YouTuber, just do a search for Killer Instinct netcode syncing. That's SYNCING.
Killer Instinct
So
network sync.
what happens is in the video, there's two dudes duking it out in Killer Instinct, and it shows both people's cameras, so what they're actually seeing overlapped. So you can see what the fight looks like to each person's POV, and it gets out of sync so that it's taking their inputs. So it's taking all their, if they push a button, it punches, or they move back, they move back. But because it's out of sync, like one person's all the way across the screen on one screen, but then on the other guy's screen, they're right next to each other, and he's getting hit by a combo. So
Exactly.
the health bars aren't synced. The health bars are completely independent. The focus meter, I don't know what it's called in Killer Instinct, isn't synced. So they're just like playing their own game against the other dude's button inputs, despite the positioning being completely off. And the timing on the button inputs is also off in a lot of the clip. So they're not actually fighting each other, and actually one guy wins, and then the other guy wins on his screen, so they each won. So everyone wins. It's fine, right? And then at the end, so the one guy's POV, the other guy showed as like rage quitting. He just disconnected,
Yep.
which is how it actually got started. The guy was kind of like, "Hey, this guy rage quit," and then he's like, "No, I didn't. I fucking whooped you."
Right. And that's why I said it's disturbing. I don't know what to make of that. Is it persistent enough to where every single online match you're playing is irrelevant?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's not clear how often it happens. Their claim is it only happens in exhibition and only with subsequent matches. Uh, but from according to them, this was their second game they played, so it wasn't like it was a long series of matches. Uh, yeah, it's not very clear
I
as to how much it happens. I don't think you would even notice necessarily. Like,
the way it was
if you're the
played,
person that if you play a fighting game like me, you probably wouldn't notice because you're just hitting the buttons. You know what I mean? Like, you're just hitting the buttons, and the other guy looks like an idiot because he's standing out in the middle of the open, just.
right,
You're like, oh, this guy sucks, and that's all
right,
you
and
see, right?
and then he was in the corner at one point, just getting pounded on. It
Yeah.
just didn't look like he was doing anything.
So naturally you're like, oh, this guy isn't very good. I'm whooping him. Is what you end up saying.
So
But you don't know that on their screen, they're just going ham on you. Really strange.
no idea. So
And what's weird is like they don't do any kind of what's the word? Because it's being played on a server. Like they're both sending the packets, and I assume that if you like had packet loss, is what this would result in.
with the
Because
I've
all it's taking
experienced
is the
lag on that.
inputs.
Colin, that is I've experienced lag on that, and you get like it feels like your frame rate starts to stutter when you get lag on any fighting game.
Yet most
It,
people are saying Killer Instinct's netcode is the best of any that they played. Like a lot of people are saying that.
I that's why when I saw that I was like, well, it doesn't look like either player is lagging. There is no lag there, visible lag where it would just be like you would say, "Oh God, that guy won because it was lagging." It looks legitimately like the servers are out of sync that they're playing on. Therefore, each match could potentially get unsynced based on the server, and you could be playing and not even know the difference.
Even if it's slightly off, like if it's off by like a foot or two of positioning, like fighting games are about the distance that you keep between each other and playing footsie and stuff. Like at a higher level, you would notice it anyways, like because you would get hit by bullshit shit, you know? And I don't know. It's hard to say because we don't know how widespread it is. It's still really weird
I'm
because I
baffled
can't.
by it.
I've never seen it that
I've
bad. You
yeah,
know?
I've never ever seen that in all the years I've been playing. I haven't seen anything like that. So feel free to watch it, guys. It'll be another one I might link in the description on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. But it has me scratching my head. I don't know what to think about it as of right now, other than server goes out of sync
And you could say it's
drastically.
like a super rare thing and it doesn't happen that often. But then what are the odds of someone getting a YouTube video of it in the first week? You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
with the limited sales, because the Xbox One only sold whatever, like a million or something, you know. And then the amount of people those that have Killer Instinct, it's not like there's a huge player base. So yeah, I mean you could say it's not a big deal, but it has to happen often enough that those guys could get it. And like I said, I don't think you notice it every time because you would just
Right.
think you're whooping on someone that sucks.
Exactly. So you wouldn't even think twice about it.
No, you just whoop them and move on to the next.
So very perplexing there. I don't. I really just don't have any opinion on how how to even interpret that because I've never seen anything like that in my life playing games. I just haven't seen that.
Strange.
The next one was PlayStation 4 stuff and their issues. So we kind of been ragging. I mean, that wasn't really I'd say Microsoft related network issue. And one of the points I think a lot of and this is that dichotomy here. We're not fanboys here, guys. We're gonna talk shit about both systems and praise both systems. And but PlayStation 4 had network issues when they first launched. Xbox One did not. Testament to those 300,000 servers. You can talk about the games. Again, Battlefield is just fucked.
Right.
Killer Instinct now, we're finding out this stuff. But in terms of playing online, being able to download stuff,
I want to say live was down for a bit.
no, there was no downtime, dude.
I think they went down.
I looked. There was no downtime at all. You can look, double check.
Just taking a look.
Hey, go ahead.
Go on.
Go ahead. Okay, so anyway, PlayStation Network struggled day one, and a lot of people were fanboys were kind of bashing the network, and Sony was kind of like, "You don't worry, guys. You know we're gonna have." They talked it up a real bunch, whole bunch. They had, "Oh, we're gonna have all these servers. We're working on it. We're doing all this stuff." They still got issues. Now they had their European launch. They had to turn off some of their PSN services in order to accommodate for that launch because their network stability is not good right now. I mean, if they get an influx of you, if they sell like crazy, like hotcakes right now, if they just sold 5 million units, you guys would not be able to play shit on PlayStation 4. I don't think their network can handle the strain right now. They got the Twitch stuff going on. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff with the sharing. They literally have to turn stuff off in order to accommodate for the network strain because their network isn't up to snuff. Now, this is a problem that's going to definitely go away, but that's something to consider if you're trying to go there and play online on their network right now. And I don't think they're ever, I repeat this, I don't think they're ever going to catch up to Microsoft in terms of online network stability. It'll get to a point where you won't be able to notice, maybe, but because Microsoft is so far ahead of them, they will never catch up. It's just impossible. It's literally impossible for them to catch up. It will get to a point where it will be, I think you won't even notice it, but I think Xbox will always have a superior network to Sony based on what we're seeing right now of them playing catch up versus what Xbox's launch was like for their network. So I think that's
You can see
pretty.
that until we see Gaikai and what they're doing with the
Yeah.
Gaikai.
So I think once Gaikai comes around, which is exactly what I was going to talk about next, I think there's going to be a dramatic boost in performance to what we're kind of seeing, and I'm very very interested in seeing how they work out streaming backwards compatible games through Gaikai. I think that is pretty awesome. But in terms of just pure network stability, I don't think they'll ever be matched. So it was pretty interesting to kind of look at how PlayStation 4 had to, and here's the link if you guys want to watch it. This is for Europe, or watch it if you guys want to read it. But it's pretty interesting to see, how they're kind of dealing with this, the surges in the network, and this is them anticipating, hey, our network is going to get strained, just like it did when we launched in the U.S. So let's kind of prep for that. Obviously, I think in the holiday season, right around Christmas, there's probably going to be another big, huge strain on the network. So, they're going to go through some growing pains, obviously, and I don't think that fanboys of any system cannot acknowledge, the other's faults, which is why we try to be pretty neutral. That being said, Colin, I want to go ahead and get up off of this next gen woes because that's really the only issue that I kind of saw with PlayStation here.
They had to disable code redemption currently.
Did I not have that included? I thought I did.
I don't think so. But yeah, they had to disable. I did find Xbox One was down on the night that it came out for a few hours, both gaming and the code redemption.
Oh, ooh. Couldn't find anything. Okay, so there you go.
But it was brief.
This was the Nvidia talking up PC. Now we just talk about the fanboyism, right? So the Nvidia's
is super PC fanboy now.
super PC fanboy.
Their company kind of relies on it, since AMD is in both Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
I'm not going to dispute what he said. I think there's some validity. But,
yeah, I mean, there's obviously a validity to it. It's just kind of like
You really gonna say it's like you really gonna say that, dude?
That his platform is the shit. The weird thing is that he pointed to Minecraft and World of Tanks as examples of PC gaming being at the forefront, considering that both those games are big launch titles for the Xbox One.
And I believe this guy's name is Matt Wright. I don't know what his position is at Nvidia, but his statement was, "We are proposing small form factor PCs to be a viable alternative to the next gen consoles. Enthusiast players want the ultimate game system, and that is the PC." He's the consumer sales manager.
Yeah.
Okay. The PC platform is far superior to, to any console when it comes to gaming. Plus, you get all the extra functionality that a computer brings. Steam now has more users than Xbox Live. There's a huge community who loves playing their games on PC, and he references again what Colin said: Minecraft and World of Tanks. Dick bag comment right there. Probably didn't mean anything by it. That was pretty raw right there. Statement from Nvidia, just pooping on the next gen systems. Now, reading between the lines here, Colin, you mentioned Steam, small form factor PCs. We opened the show with Steam machines. We showed off iBuyPower's machine last week. What do you think? Nvidia's got something up their sleeve? They're going to work out something with Valve, pushing Steam machines. I think that's
Maybe I'm sure they'll have some configurations. They're gonna have configurations with all the different cards, I think, for Steam. So I'm sure there'll be an AMD one as well. It's not like it'll be just Nvidia.
okay. Stoic. What's up, dude? How long has he been in there? If I had the kind of money to buy next gen, I probably would actually put together a PC. In my third party game console.
I'm personally spending the money to flesh out my PC setup. Not the rig itself, but I just bought a keyboard, and I bought my Blue Yeti 3 weeks ago, and they didn't ship it through eBay, which is why you all hear the tea kettle noise still. But yeah. Once I get that, then I'll get a shock mount for it, get a mic recording arm, get a camera so I'm not using my phone.
Open world Star Wars game. Are we calling this Battlefront? Should we call it Battlefront because we don't know which one it is? It could be the. I know it could be the.
World?
I know. I was gonna say
that's gonna be GTA. It's gonna be Star Wars Grand Theft Auto Edition. Well, Grand Theft Auto Star Wars Edition.
What were the three studios working on Star Wars? There was three, right? Visceral.
Yeah, it was Visceral.
DICE.
And Visceral, they expected would be taking over like the more narrow focused campaign route.
That Etch. I can't say that dude's name. Techzy, iTechzy. But yeah, I was joking about the Battlefront. Just trying to rile Colin up. But this is a game that we've DICE, Visceral, and BioWare. Okay, BioWare is the other one.
It sounded like Visceral might be finishing Star Wars 1313. Like that was what the initial indications were.
I thought they got scrapped.
Well, it got scrapped when LucasArts went down, but then they now have the rights to it, so it makes sense that they might consider picking it back up.
Either way,
but I mean, like Visceral doing an open world game seems a bit out of place. So does BioWare, though, so I don't know.
BioWare seems more. Actually, both of them seem plausible. Who did what did Visceral work on before this?
Dead Space?
Yes, yeah. Neither of them could really. I'd say BioWare probably more of a fit than Visceral.
I mean, BioWare is a pretty wide-arcing company that could have almost anyone working on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you consider to some extent, Mass Effect is kind of open world, and the way that you can go about doing things.
I just want Grand Theft Auto Star Wars. Like, give me Grand Theft Auto Star Wars and then Star Wars Battlefront. I will be set.
You won't. You That's all you'd be playing for like a year.
Seriously, like that'd be fun as shit.
I would
Could you
play.
imagine just walking around Tatooine and stealing anything?
Would it
Like,
be
I just steal
co-op?
everything.
Would you want to be co-op?
Yeah, it'd be
Like
like
Grand Theft Auto Online?
yeah, it'd be like GTA Online.
And you just be going around all around the
Just
worlds and just.
just stealing pod racers and
You would be a Sith dude though.
be riding on tauntauns.
Oh man. So
It'd be nasty. Then you could have like a bunch of different worlds too.
yeah.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I would be excited for an open world Star Wars game. I just don't know what type of game it would be. Like, is it like what is the Star Wars Force Unleashed? Is it like that? Where you're just running around open world? Is it more of a
I just made it
Grand
like
Theft
Saints Row.
Auto type thing where you're
I
like,
go the Saints Row route. Just make it over the top.
they're not gonna do that. Star Wars fans won't accept Saints Row level of over the topness for a Star Wars game.
Slap around Jar Jar with a purple dildo. You don't want to do that? You don't want to do that? That would be the best selling point ever for the game. If they just like they set the stage at E3, it's like fade to black, see Star Wars logo, and then the very next thing they just cut to Jar Jar, and all of a sudden purple dildo, poof,
That would go
just
viral,
beats
but
him to death. Just beats him to death. Fade to black. December 2015.
people would shit
People
on that
would go
trend.
nuts.
They would
Everyone would
shit
be
on
going
it.
nuts.
No.
Everyone would be going nuts. There would be uproarious applause.
Colin, we're talking
Uproarious applause.
we're talking about people that shat all over the newest Star Wars games, and you're talking about you want to slap Jar Jar with a dildo?
I kid you not. People would go nuts. That game would sell millions of copies. Billions. It might sell billions of copies.
We're about to end tonight's show.
It would sell billions. And it would be the hit of E3.
No,
It would take over the entire show.
Colin.
Take over the entire show. I'm telling you.
Anyway, I think
BioWare, Visceral. Well, I can't say it.
I think that there's a huge opportunity.
Just run with it. It's a freebie.
I think there's a huge opportunity for this game, if it's open world Star Wars, to do very well. And I also think there's a big, huge, huge opportunity for this to massively fail. Massively fail. Knowing how fickle the Star Wars community is in general. It will sell some copies, but people would not. Like, if it's bad, people are going to not be happy.
But could it be bad?
Maybe if it wasn't a
Could it
dildo,
really?
if it wasn't a dildo and you could push the dubstep, you could push dubstep or force sound dubstep, then maybe. But purple dildos ain't happening.
But would it be grand?
No. All right, we're ending this show with questions.
Good guys have purple dildo, bad guys have red dildos.
Q&A.
Darth Maul with the dual wheel.
Let's hit up tonight's questions from the chat before we head off for the evening.
For those who don't know, Saints Row had a purple dildo as a weapon.
And a dubstep gun.
And a dubstep gun, the most recent one. That was the reference. It didn't just come out of nowhere.
Did you guys talk about Warhammer MOBA?
No, I don't know enough about it.
They're coming out with a Warhammer MOBA? I would love to link to that. Be the umpteenth MOBA to come out in the last 3 years. What are your thoughts on suppression system in Battlefield 4? I feel like it makes the game very inconsistent, much like active reload boost. Well, Elite, I feel like suppression, like what Battlefield is going for versus what Gears of War went for, and you could say Gears of War has some realism, but Gears was more sci-fi, so they got away with stuff like that. Battlefield is going for more realistic style gameplay, and so suppression is supposed to add realism. In Battlefield 3, I'm not sure if you played that, it was over the top, like couldn't see at all. In this game, it feels better, like it feels acceptable to play with if you played Battlefield 3. I don't find it to make it so that the game is inconsistent. I find it to be realistic, like more realism than inconsistency in gameplay.
I don't notice it most of the time. Like,
yeah, it's just not as prominent as it was.
Feels natural to me.
Thank you for that link.
Usually, like when people are firing over your head, you die.
People are firing over my head. They're using an airburst, which is.
That said, the suppression from like tanks and stuff, like where it blurs your screen when they start shooting next to you, that's brutal.
The people who are making it are a game. Aren't there only specific guns that give suppression though? I don't think there's any specific guns. I'm pretty sure all the guns, if someone is shooting around you, like I've used every single assault rifle, and I've gotten suppression assists where I'm missing, but then one of my teammates killed him. So it's not gun specific.
Ride to Hell Retribution is be really, really bad.
Frag Logic rating for Rise. Colin?
3.
It is not. Oh wait, out of what? What scale are you on right now?
Well, a 10-point scale, of course.
What? You're on a 10-point scale and you give it a 3?
It's pretty bad.
It is not bad. Everyone that has played the game has said, man, I'm really surprised at how good this game is. It's not great. It's good.
So you give it like a 6?
A 6.
So we averaged it out to a 4.5?
5.
4.5. 4.5 out of 10. I didn't play it at all. I watched KL play. But that said,
you could just
the entire time I was pointing out.
Thank you, Colin.
The entire time I was pointing out incredible flaws with it.
Thank you for confirming that you do not have to have a rating on here, and your 3 gets scrapped. So
no, you can't scrap it. Like you can
put an asterisk next to it. It's 4.5 asterisk.
My 3 only has like half weight, so it's a 1.5. So we average out 1.5 versus 6. Makes our actual score like a 3.5.
Oh my gosh.
2.5.
I beat the game. I think that it delivers on the story very well. That's some of the best acting, especially voice acting I've heard in a game ever.
That combat was really awful though. Like
the combat.
You just walk up, you'd mash button. Like you would walk up, you'd mash buttons up until the point where if someone came behind you, you would hit a button to turn at them. And if someone didn't come behind you, you'd mash buttons until it gave you the super animation thing, and then you go.
It is a combination of.
And then you get all your health back, and then you just do the same thing on the next dude.
I don't see what the issue is. Like,
and the whole time, there's like 4 archers up on a ledge, just like, oh, I hope you finish this sometime soon.
The combat system could be better.
And your whole platoon of soldiers,
just standing
behind, like, yeah, get them. Get all of them. All 20 of them. Just go ahead and get them. It's all you. Good shit. Good job, Maximus.
The AI is very bad. The combat system is not very bad. The AI is very bad. The combat system is good. It is not fantastic. It is not original. It is good.
So
the AI is horrible.
So 5 then.
No. I had a lot of replay value from...
You're not really upselling it.
I'm not upselling. The graphics are gorgeous. The story is great. The acting in the story is good. The camera angles aren't very good. They are almost nauseating at some point. The AI is not very good, but you're playing a beat 'em up game, so your enjoyment there is just whooping on fools. And if you're going to purchase that game, you're probably going to have the mindset, if you're not a little kid that's looking at, oh, pretty, that, hey, you're going to know what you're going to expect. This is an Arkham City. This is a Assassin's Creed to an extent. This is one of those games where it's God of War. We're just going to beat people up. So, what more do you want? I mean, the story is solid, Colin. It's solid, good. You can beat the shit out of people. And you can hop online and do horde style gameplay with many objectives and beat the shit out of people. It's fun.
So you're saying it's kind of like the Transformers of video games? Transformers 2 of video games?
What, like the game?
No,
like it was.
It's Transformers 2, the movie of video games.
A lot of pizzazz. That the story there sucked though. I see where you're going, but the story there sucked. So no. It is like if Gladiator is the pinnacle of movies for that style.
To Gladiator.
What? No. If Gladiator is the pinnacle, Spartacus is the average Joe Schmo, but it's pretty good. And then there was some other one. What's another one that was not Troy, Alexander? Remember that with Colin Farrell? So Alexander, throw Alexander in there. Rise is like Alexander.
I'd say that's fair.
Okay, we good?
Sure.
So you got Gladiator being the top. That's award winning. Russell Crowe was amazing in that. You cried at the end. It was so good. Spartacus is pretty damn good, but it's no Gladiator.
Yeah.
And then you have Alexander, which is like
Alexander is a 5 on IMDb.
Exactly.
Out of 10.
But there are some things that you can enjoy.
Well, yeah, Angelina Jolie.
Or one. Those visuals.
Anthony Hopkins is also in there, yeah. Rosario Dawson.
See?
There's some things to enjoy.
Exactly. So that is my opinion on Rise. Let me see if there's any more questions. Honeymoon goggles. On balance,
kind of a failing grade.
Calm sticks. On balance, would you recommend buying next gen?
Not right now.
I wait till Titanfall or Destiny. Colin needs a bomb game type for higher score. You guys also talk about the cuss while playing sports games, the technical foul on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
We talk about cussing and repercussions, not necessarily the sports game implication.
So Arctic, will you be at PAX East next year? If so, don't be next to the damn League booth. Possibly Phobia? Maybe. I can't really say anything about it yet. If we are going to be there or not. Possibility. Who do you think will have the better online streaming service a year from now? Who's the comparison? Is it YouTube and Twitch?
I assume that would be.
I hope it's not. I know you're not
Xbox
talking about
versus
YouTube.
Streaming PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Probably streaming Xbox.
Neither of them is going to have the quality that people are going to demand.
Exactly.
That's my. PC is the victor there. PC streaming either console.
Do you play Marvel Heroes much anymore? I have played on and off. I have not played since the new patch with Loki. Oh, Loki's in Marvel Heroes now.
Oh yeah? Hey Loki, you're in Marvel.
Thoughts on getting banned if you cuss too much? Talked about it last week. It's ridiculous. 2 games you're each most excited to hear about at VGX. That'll be the last question. Colin,
Vision,
go.
Titanfall. That's the most softball question ever.
That was a pretty easy question, and mine is the exact same as Colin's: Division and Titanfall. It was too easy.
If you add a third, it gets a little bit difficult. Because I'd probably say South Park.
And then I would probably say Dying Light.
Yeah.
So, hope you guys enjoyed the show. That's pretty much it for tonight. I'll have this up on YouTube for all those that want to watch there. Missed anything? And yeah, looking forward to. Is YouTube still failing? Kinda. Looking forward to next week's show. Colin should have his new mic. We're going to try to do things a little bit differently.
Probably not. We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, we'll see. I want to execute on some new plans for the show. That'll be right around the time when Colin gets his new stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching.